Welcome to Meeting of the Moms, a place to talk about all the things. I'm Amy Rasmussen. I'm a teacher by profession, a wife and mother by choice, an optimist by nature, and happy by design. I'm here with my good friend Lorna, who I call one of my greatest cheerleaders.
Hi, I'm Lorna Adams. I'm a wife, mom, and certified life coach. I strive to embrace and enjoy each new phase of life. Here at Moms, we believe the world is wide open to all of us and that we have unlimited potential. We're so glad you're here.
Today I am celebrating something is better than nothing.
And I am celebrating my journey from indecision to decision making. So we have been wanting new furniture, and probably a year ago we went and looked at furniture, didn't love anything for our living room. And then in December, we went to 2 different stores, looked, spent a few hours looking for furniture, didn't love anything. And then yesterday, we went to another store, and we decided we are going to be committed. Like, we're just going to make a decision. We walked in, and because of those other experiences, I had a better idea of what I wanted. And so yesterday, I could walk in and make some decisions, and we have new sofas coming on Tuesday. But it is just like the idea of, sometimes I can be indecisive, but really sometimes there's some value in researching and filling things out, right? Going to the stores, sitting on the couches, understanding what I do like about some of the things, what we don't like about some of the things. Some of the things that we learned from one of the visits in December is that we can have recliners with a battery pack. We don't have to have an outlet near our sofa. That had been a deterrent for a while.
Yeah.
Thinking we have this furniture that's going to be in the middle of the room, or we have a big, great room. We have furniture that'll be in the middle of the room. We don't want cords, so we need to have like manual recliners if we want recliners. And then we figured that out. So it was just fun to see the process that helped us make the decisions. So anyway, there it is. I was more decisive yesterday, and it's fun. We're excited for our new furniture.
Awesome. And all your legwork built up to the point where you could be decisive, right? So just even knowing that, like, okay, it's all right for me to have that part. And then to decide today we're making decisions. Great. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep, totally. Thank you. Okay, so tell me about your celebration. Something is better than nothing. Is that what your celebration was? Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. So I've had a cold, and yesterday I was up early enough to walk with my friend who I walk with, and then she had texted me and been like, I'm sorry, I'm up in the middle of the night. Like, it was like 3 a.m. or something. And she's like, I'm turning off my alarm. I'll let you know if I'm up. And so I decided to go ahead and go back to bed, so I didn't walk. But later in the day, I went out and I walked around the block. That is seriously like all I got. And on Strava, I called it my something is better than nothing walk. And I think sometimes we talk ourselves right out of doing something that could be good and helpful for ourselves because it's not the most amazing thing or the regular thing we do. And so I love that phrase. Something is better than nothing.
Awesome. Love it. Perfect example.
What is on your mind today?
Well, Valentine's is around the corner. So the last few days, as I look in my closet, as I'm getting dressed, I'm looking for pink. So here's a pink sweater today.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And I've gotten some fun pink nails going on. But just trying to decide what I want to do or what will be happening for Valentine's Day this year. It is on a Friday. And so that's kind of fun. And my husband and I, we're at a place where our kids are a little bit older, and so we can go away for a night or two pretty easily because we have a driver at home and they're pretty responsible. And so we have made some plans to be out of town this Valentine's Day. So this Valentine's Day will look a little bit different than in the past. How does Valentine's Day work out at your house, Amy?
Different every year. My youngest is in middle school now. So this is the first year that I'm not going to go and help with Valentine's Day parties at the school. It's the first year we don't have to get class little thingies, the class Valentine's to hand out and that kind of stuff. And that just dawned on me the other day. So I was like, oh, okay, because sometimes my Valentine's Day activities have been involved in that direction. And I mentioned Valentine's Day to my husband the other day, and he's like, I don't have any kind of plan. I'm like, I'm not expecting you to have a plan. Maybe we can, make a plan together or something. So I don't know. This year is a year I haven't really thought about it a ton. Not sure what I'm going to do.
Well, and I do feel like when your kids are in elementary school And there is the, like, let's decorate a little box for Valentine's. Make sure we're thinking about who we're going to give it or what we're going to give the kids in my class for Valentine's Day. I think it is a little more on the radar. And as you were talking about giving gifts like that, doing the little Valentines, I was remembering that typically, it hasn't dawned on me yet this year, that typically I make caramels. I do chocolate dipped caramels.
Oh, fun.
And then I'll just take them to some of my friends here in town. Amy, Sarah, you don't get any because you live far away.
Bummer. Well, next time we're in person, you could bring me some. I won't object.
I honestly have tucked them in the freezer for my in-laws before. They leave our area for the winter. And some years I've tucked them in the freezer. So when they come back to Utah, I can say, here are some caramels. Happy belated Valentine's Day.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to offer that to you so you know that you you could give them to me if you want to.
Well, and I love caramels, and I have chosen to let Valentine's Day be a time when I do make them, because Christmas is just so chaotic. I think some people dip chocolates then, but for me, Valentine's Day has felt a little bit better. But I'm glad that you're reminding me of that. And just the idea of we, as adults, we can deliver a little Valentine's to our friends if we want to, right? We can give them something if we want, and that could be fun. Our school, our high school, does the soccer team does a cookie fundraiser. So they're making cookies, and you can order cookies for whoever. And so I have ordered cookies for my kids before. But this year I'm still trying to ponder how I want to handle it, where my husband and I will both be out of town for the actual Valentine's Day. Also in the past, my husband has ordered flowers for all of us. Our girls he's given flowers to, and then even I'm feeling like my son, I think he ordered like a plant or something. A couple of years maybe I went in on, like, the idea was from both of us for all of these now that I'm saying this out loud. But that has been fun. I know some people have even hosted like a Galentine's lunch or dinner with friends. So as an adult, I think we can still be playing if we want to. And then of course you could also host or plan a date night where you invite other couples to come and the kids stay home with a babysitter or something.
With Valentine's Day, with a lot of these other things, I think they can be opportunities for us to do something if we want to, right? We don't need to elevate it to the point of like hard and fast expectation. Every year's a little bit different. But it can be an opportunity to just say, I'm going to use Valentine's Day to just see, how do I want to spread love this year? Is it something I want to do in direction to my spouse or a significant other? Is it something I want to do with friends? Is it something I want to do with children, family members, whatever? I mean, it seems like Valentine's Day could be, one could celebrate it on their own every year and go out and do service. Right? I mean, a lot of people think of that at like Christmas time, but why not think about it at Valentine's Day, just putting extra love into the world? So just as you were talking, that's kind of what you've created for yourself, even with the chocolate covered caramels. Why does that have to be attached to something like Christmas? It doesn't. And so you attached it to something else that feels more fun and exciting and doable and all the things. Totally. So I think that's fun.
And I think with that too, it gives me a trigger. Talking to you about Valentine's Day gave me the trigger, like, oh yeah, I want to do that. Where I think sometimes I have had things in my mind like, oh, I want to do that at some point. And sometimes some point hasn't come yet, or it comes much later than maybe I would have wanted or whatever. And so it is fun to tie things to particular, like a holiday or some other event to help trigger your mind. And then you can use that as a time to do it. So,
something that I like about some of these smaller holidays, like Valentine's Day, like St. Patrick's Day and that kind of stuff, is I do like to have a few things that I pull out and I decorate with. It is not required, but I do like to have something different going on in my house. And I'm not one who wants to spend the time or the money or other resources to like completely revamp my decor or to paint every 3 years. There are people out there who that's how they do it. But for me, to have variety, it can be the exact same decorations for every single Valentine's Day, but because I only see them once a year, I'm like, oh yeah, this is so fun. I haven't seen this. And so it kind of like gives to me something that feels like novelty or something new and exciting without a lot of headache. And there have been years where I go bigger and there's years I go smaller. This year is one where I didn't get a ton of stuff out. In fact, I might just be in a phase of my life where there's going to be less and it'll just be in a small little area of my home. But I did it mid-January this year because I'm like, I am just taking down Christmas. I don't want to put up my winter stuff for 2 weeks and then put up Valentine's Day stuff. I'm just going to go straight into Valentine's Day. So then when the family got home, I was telling them, I'm like, look what I did. They're like, okay, yay. Like, we're celebrating love now. So,
Totally.
kind of fun.
Which I think that is so fun. And I think sometimes I have felt overwhelmed by trying to decorate for a season. My mom was really great at it. She loved to decorate. And so every month she would switch up decorations. We had a couple different spots in our house where she would have decorations and she would switch it up every month. And to me, that is overwhelming. I love that she did it and I love that I got to enjoy it. But when it's on me, it feels quite heavy. And so
Yep.
I agree with you. I'm more simple and then of course different times, maybe one Valentine's Day or that season does seem more fun to go all out and others are more simple. And I'm right there, right with the simple right now too. The simple is good.
And just the idea, like knowing, like one of the things I love that Gretchen Rubin talks about from the Happier Project is that you need to get to know yourself better because for some people, they're like, that never brings me joy. So it's not an expectation, but instead, just by knowing about myself that I like a change up, a switch up, you know what I mean? And this is a way to do it with minimal effort. And as long as I make sure with myself, even to not make it a requirement, but just a reminder that that can help refresh sometimes if I just allow myself some of that creativity, because that's another thing. It can give me a little bit of creativity outlet. And doesn't have to take that long. So setting it out there for any listeners that are like, oh, I have to do that now. No, you do not.
Right.
Just if it sounds fun.
Well, and I love Marie Kondo's idea about sparking joy. And so I think even that, like, is there a decoration you like to look at that would be fun to just set out on a table or a shelf or a mantle or something? It doesn't have to be anything else. It could be one thing or the one wreath on your front porch. Would it be fun to have something out there? So as you drive by your house, as you're leaving and coming, you can see that and kind of have a little spark of joy or something. So
And what I love about this too is we can use things like Valentine's Day or a new month to like remind us of something, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with the holiday. So maybe you're a person who's like, yes, I kind of want to have something different in this one location in my home, but I don't want to have it connected to any holiday. But I'm going to have 12 whatever, and they just get switched out, but the new month just reminds you to put something else out there. So that can also be fun. Or if you're a lover of words and you want to have a different quote there or a different fun thing that way, I think that can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, too. Very good. That's awesome.
I think I just do different things each year. I know some people are really good at setting up, this is our tradition, this is what we're doing. And sometimes that's good and it's helpful for me. And other times it just feels stressful, like we just talked about. And so sometimes it's fun to say, what do I feel like doing this year? I know there've been years where I decided I was going to cut out a bunch of construction paper hearts, and each day for 14 days or something, I would write something I loved about each of my family members and I'd stick it by their bed. Other times I wrote notes in a notebook. Other times we did something more minor. So I think exploring how to bring a little bit of light and how to spark a little bit of joy in your own life surrounding some part of the season. And again, maybe it has nothing to do with the holiday, but this year it's been kind of warm the last little bit. And so one could be like, oh, well, when I have a warm time in February, I'm going to focus on going on walks with my kids or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But I just like that idea of exploring what's going to bring a little bit of light.
Yeah, totally. I think that's great. With the hearts by the pillow or writing notes in the notebook, I've done something similar on actual Valentine's Day. So it didn't take a lot. It wasn't like I had to keep it on my radar. This was a few different years. So I'd cut out hearts and write little things on them and then put it on their door. So when they got home from school, they saw it, or even in the morning, maybe I had it put on their door before they woke up, that they could see it. But just something that was fun. And it was fun for me to do it. But I agree, like, don't do things that are overwhelming. Like, if it doesn't sound appealing, then that's okay. You don't have to do it. I think there's times and seasons, and sometimes seasons feel really heavy and overwhelming. And so those aren't the times to do it. But if there's something little, you could do maybe a note, one thing.
Yes. Yeah, just something. Also, as you were talking about writing the love notes for just the one day, I think too, it's seasons of our life when we're maybe less thrilled with ourselves for whatever reason. One could even use Valentine's Day as a time to reassess and to just be like, I'm going to just write down some of the things I do like about myself. Or if it's really hard to do that, to be able to say, like, what if I chose to like this thing about myself that it seems like other people have told me they like? Or even that, a time to write down things that other people have said that they enjoy, to remind yourself about the whole person. It could be a day to get out any words of affirmation that you may have saved, meaning like someone wrote you a thank you card one time or whatever. So if you're a kind of person who keeps some of those things, make it a time to get out and just read those again to remind yourself of those things. I love that it can be used in so many different ways to build and lift oneself, one's family, one's friends, one's community.
Yeah, I love that. Letting it be something we can improve our own love for ourselves as well as the love for other people. And I do feel like as we are taking better care of ourselves, it's way easier to help others. We can show up better. Like if we're kinder to ourselves, it's easier to be kinder to other people, and we have the energy and capacity for it.
Yeah. Yep. So which means you could be like, I'm going to take a day of rest every February 13th. Sky's the limit. So many different options.
Yeah, totally. So fun. Well, and this year, as I was saying, my husband and I are going out of town, and we've made some reservations. We're going to go to a restaurant on February 13th. We'll stay out of town Thursday night the 13th and Friday night the 14th, and then come home the 15th. And so we've made a couple reservations. And even as I'm planning this weekend away, I'm like, what are some fun things that we could do together separate from those reservations? Do I want to take a game? Do I want to research some activities in that area? And just being open to planning some things that could be fun and inexpensive or whatever, and enjoy where we're going to be. But I think spending some time on showing your spouse or your significant other some love could be good. It could be fun. Like, let it be fun. If it feels stressful, then you don't have to. But I think it could be fun. I think typically in the U.S., we do celebrate Valentine's Day for lovers, for significant others. And so maybe that could be fun to come up with an activity or game or something that you would enjoy and invite your spouse to join you.
Yep. Yeah. I like the idea too of you have some things planned that you're going to do. You're going to bring some things maybe that could be we do them or not. And I also think it allows a person to be open where every minute's not planned. You can be open to the opportunities that present themselves a little bit.
Yep.
But I found for me, I don't want to have no plan, because that feels like, well, what are we even doing? Or we do a lot of like, well, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? And that's annoying to me. But if it's too planned and structured, then it can be like, I don't even want to do that. I want to go do this other thing now. So finding the balance is helpful too, to see how to have a few planned things. We could do these things if we want to, and then just a time to discover and explore where you are.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I think even another idea with that is you could say, hey, spouse, I'm planning some of this time. Do you want to come up with another activity that we can do during this time, or something where you both can
communication?
Yeah. So then you both can do things that you're interested in, if that works. And sometimes some spouses are like, whatever you plan will be great. Will you just plan it? Right? Some are that way. Some are, I don't want you to plan it. I want to come up with things that I want to do. I know we've even gone on some vacations where my husband has said, I just want to sit by the pool. Like, I just want this vacation to be a time where we just are relaxing. I want a book and we just relax. And so even that, maybe having a conversation before the date, so then we can make sure we're on a similar page and be able to enjoy the time together. So any other thoughts about Valentine's Day?
No, I think this is great. And since I haven't really been thinking about it much, it's fun that you have been, because now my creativity is beginning to perk up a little bit.
Awesome. Well, good luck with Valentine's Day, whatever you decide to do this season. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for coming to Meeting of the Moms. We hope it made your load a little lighter. We'd love to hear what's on your mind. Send your celebrations, takeaways, and suggestions for future topics to momswithamyandlorna@gmail.com.
If you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe. If this isn't the right fit for you, we wish you well on your journey. Until next time, I'm Lorna Adams.
And I'm Amy Rasmussen. See you next week at Moms.